terrible that day.
So you're sitting down in there, your feet are right down here.
Yes, sir. And you got a big bomb sight, gun sight between your legs, and you can't see nothing unless you know, look on the sides, or if you've been in there and had time to, you know, adjust.
Yeah.
Or like they did back in training, I might have been better off, but just to get in there on the spur of the moment, it was terrible.
Yeah. How much did you weigh when you were?
I'd say about 145, 50 pounds. I wasn't too big, but I was too big for that thing.
Okay. Whenever you started, I guess you enlisted, why did you want to go into the planes?
In other words, when I got to St. Petersburg, Florida from my basic training, they asked me what I'd like to do, and I said I'd like to go fight the quickest if I could.
Okay.
But I mean, I didn't mean that. But they said, well, you want to be an aerial gunner.
Yep.
So they sent me to Tenderfield, Florida for my gunnery training.
Okay.
We had 3 squadrons. Had 7 planes in each squadron.
Okay.
And they would take off from the ground, and they'd have 3 planes on the runway at a time. One would be taking off, one about the middle of the runway, and one just starting from the other end. Over Berlin the first time in March the 6th, we went over with over 600 B-17s, and we lost 69 B-17s and 24 and 11 fighters that day.
Really?
And then the 8th and 9th Air Force shot down 175 German fighters that day.
Where was your head at?
And I got one of them. I got an ME-109 that day.
And then where the gunners sat, particularly in the belly and the tail, was really cramped, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was real
well,
tight.
In other words, you could raise up and down, I mean, a little bit, but you're almost sitting on a little bicycle seat.
Okay. The pilot that flew this plane in, he said that some of the missions were as long as 13 hours.
And we never flew that much. In other words, my longest was about 11 hours, and that was the day I flew in the ball turret.
Okay. Oh, man. So
I was doubling a knot.
Okay.
I mean...
So you flew 7 on that plane.
On that plane.
Then what happened to that plane?
In other words, they drug it to the graveyard, and they never flew that plane again. It shot up so bad.
Okay.
But we went over the target the first time, and we got number 1 engine knocked out with flak. And then we had to make a second run over it, and we had an 88 millimeter shell to go through our number 2 engine, just in back of the propeller, and set the whole wing on fire. And the pilot hollered for us to bail out.
So did you?
No, in other words, that was when the 4 of us brought the plane back.
Okay, because if you jumped out, you'd have been captured.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. But I was up in the window ready to roll out after 2 of the guys in the back went out the window. The B-17 rolled out.
Okay.
And then we thought the ball turret gunner was still in his turret, and we went back to try to crank him up.
Yeah.
And he was flew up, and he had already called the pilot and wanted to know what was going on up in the plane, and he jumped back at the controls and pulled the plane out of the dive.
Okay.
And the fire went out, and that's when we brought it back on number 3 and 4 engine.
Okay. Okay, then you went to another plane after that.
I had to fly 23 more missions with just whoever needed a gunner.
Okay, so you didn't stay in the same plane and the same crew?
No.
Then.
See, the other 6 of them 3 were prisoners of war for 16 months, and 3 of them evaded and got back without being captured.
Okay.
But I came back from 5 missions on 2 engines. I was lucky. Wow. And that thing there on the end of it, it's got in parentheses, a lucky bastard. That's that was we had that for whatever, you know, they called us that when we finished 30 missions.
Yeah. Well, you want to stay on here a while?
No, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. But it sure is a lot different getting into that 90 than it was at 21.
I'll bet.